Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. This is a paid request for Jonathan. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, topic, reaction, commentary, review, re-review, whatever the case may be, PayPal's usually the best bet. I do have a Patreon and a CashApp. People have asked about them. Links are down in the info box, and I will get to them as soon as I can. And this is for Satan's Children, a 1975 film that I think Vinegar Syndrome released. I could be wrong on that. And it's definitely a kind of a weird movie. Definitely it's an exploitation film where I don't know where to start. That's why I'm fumbling my words. I wouldn't say I hated the film, but at the same time, it has that exploitation look and flavor of the 70s, and I think it's just really the story, how it plays out, where I don't know if this movie really had a happy ending. Like, it kind of seems like it did when it's... I don't think you're supposed to think that way, of course, but I'll explain. It's directed by a guy named Joe Wiziti. It stars a guy named Stephen White, who plays Bobby. The setup is that he's living with his dad and his stepsister. His stepsister is one of those that will seduce him, play around with him, even though he doesn't wanna. And so she's a bit of a flirt, a bit of a slut, a bit of a bitch. The dad is an ass, just complete turd blossom. Getting mad at him for not mowing the lawn right, all this other stuff. She will see Bobby in his underwear, his tighty whities, and make fun of his dick, and everyone, like, they're both pain in the asses. They even trying to eat dinner at the table, and she fondles his dick, and then she, like, grabs her leg, and he kind of thinks about stabbing her with a fork. I'm saying they're going with the way she's behaving, just go ahead and stab it. One thing leads to another. She kind of tells the beans that he's got some weed in his room. He decides, screw it, I'm going to leave, I'm going to head out. And the acting isn't the greatest. Like, the way the guy, when he leaves, the father is calling at him, being angry and mad, and Bobby's like, you go to hell! You go to Jesus H. Christ, hell! So, I know it's not supposed to be funny, but the way that was just, it made me laugh. It's a movie that definitely is not supportive of the LGBTQ, because it don't like, it's very, very much, on the gays, so to speak, because the Bobby's at a diner, and this guy sits down, that you get the idea he's gay, and says, hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you. What's your name? And then someone, like, with a biker helmet says, get lost. What are you doing? You're not supposed to be here. Gets lost. And then that guy sits down and says, oh, yeah, he's all these gays. And all. They use a lot of words than that. Hey, you know what? Come back to my place. And this biker, I swear, his face kind of looked like Elvis from the 70s. I mean, this takes place in the 70s, but it looks... I don't know why, just his face reminded me of Elvis, like the 70s fat Elvis. And pretty soon, the guy gets a knife to the lead, tells him to, undresses him, has him tied down, ass up, calls his buddies to have a party. So then the four of them are in this car, and I think I know what they're doing, because they're in the car driving, and our lead character is naked, gagged, and he's, like, facing forward in the front, his legs are in the back, and see a guy doing this, and I guess you'd assume what that is, but like the way it's done, like of course it's a horrible intention, but the way it's done, it doesn't come off as frightening or disturbing like I Spit on Your Grave or those type of movies. A Serbian film where it just comes off as it's a horrible incident, but it's not directed, or it's just like a weird thing, like to do this while driving, and the way he moves is like not how you would. Like it looked like you just punch him in the ass. That's what it looked like. I will punch you in the ass. There's a using it as like a, I don't know, boxing bag. It just, but you get the idea he's been sexually assaulted. But so part of me is like, maybe I'm glad it came off that way, so it wasn't too creepy, unsettling. It was more like first 30 something, like, what the hell are they doing? And like, why are they doing it while they're driving? And he's like in this weird position where he's like in the front seat, kind of on the people. And he might not have been dead in the car. But anyway, I know again the spoilers, but I'm trying to set it up. The next thing we know, he's been dumped outside, and a cult finds him. Happens to be a satanic cult. And then it becomes kind of a revenge movie, kind of a satanic love story. It's a weird movie. It's a weird movie to me. And again, spoilers. I'm sorry, I just don't know how else to explain it than that. It's a movie where I guess they have, there's bits of missing scenes. Like the lady who's part of the cult, she's talking, and literally there's a part where after he wakes up, she goes, I also want to. And then she doesn't finish the sentence because it jumps in the edit. I also want to. And then we're on to like, they skip the rest of the sentence. So I guess, I don't know if that was in how it was originally released that way, or the print they found just has that bit deleted. And there's times where the satanic cult, or they're in this room with this red glow and this weird yow, 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 like echo sound, and I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be. Is that saying himself on the John, and he didn't have enough fiber in his diet? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. So during the satanic cult meeting, one guy's pissed at the lady that they brought our lead guy Bobby in, and she doesn't like that he's messing with her, so you're insubordinate, so they hang the guy. There's this one woman who they're trying to sacrifice, but then they wait another day or two because you have time to change your ways. They don't like that she's gay, that she's a lesbian. And so she gets a reprieve for a bit. Their leader comes home. He was on a trip somewhere. He's got a pretty decent looking mustache. I love the delivery where she's like nervous and goes, have a good trip. He kind of looks at her and goes, you have a good hanging? I don't know why that made me laugh. And then he's like, well, you hanged this person without my say-so, and it seemed like maybe he was right because we don't take victims in, and this guy was the victim of a homosexual act, and if he wasn't a victim, then he is gay, and we don't like that. And she then goes, I'm in love. Oh, really? You're in love? Like she kind of looks at him, then they have a love scene where they're making out in bed, and then all of a sudden she's in love. Like, within the day. She must have been really horny or really bored, or both. So the leader don't like what's going on, so he's going to punish her. So they bury her up to her neck, and it's like she's trying to did, but she don't really want to did. She's kind of did it kind of half-assly. And then when she's buried up to her neck, they kind of lazily throw rocks. Just they don't want to hurt her, so they kind of you know, So our satanic leader Simon, because he goes, "My name is Simon, and you are in trouble." I kind of like this guy. Like, I don't know why. Just something about his just the whole time he has a calm demeanor. Like, I don't think he ever raises his voice. Just the whole time he's got a nice mustache, just a calm demeanor, and he pretty much says, "You know what? About how that guy who was hung before. I think he was right about you. Well, let me guess. You believe in Jesus and stuff, and if you weren't such a victim, you just get up and leave, and or you wouldn't be such a weakling, and or hey, you don't go and save her or something, but you're not gonna do anything." Pretty much call him a bitch. He leaves. So then the guy gets up, and I don't know why he doesn't put clothes on. I guess there was no clothes in the room, but he escapes in his tighty whities. And I'm like, man, I've seen enough of this guy in his tighty whities. I never want to see tighty whities again. Just go with boxer shorts. He'll run into the woods in his underwear. Simon says, well, he escaped. Hey, you guys go after him. Then he did like an elongated sequence where these guys are chasing after him, and they get to this fence, and then someone flips the fence, but it's electrical fence, so some of them get zapped, and not Bobby. Or Bobby goes through the woods, and I don't know, I guess, like, he gets tired, I guess. I mean, to be fair, I mean, he was hurt before, but he kind of goes through it, but the way it's done, it's like, these little branches hit my face, and then he collapses. So the two guys find them, but one of them accidentally falls into some quicksand. The other guy helps him, and Bobby sees and pushes that guy into the quicksand. So those two die. So we've had people electrocuted by the electric fence. We've had two now die from quicksand. Bobby's covered in mud. And then we're already at the finale. Because at least it's not a long film. It's like an hour and 20 or less. Spoilers, super spoilers. He goes to see his dad and stepsister. Breaks a bottle over the dad's head, which I guess killed the guy. Because it's not really blood or anything. Like, you hit it and then there's all this blood. No, just... And then, like... So I guess the dad is dead? Kidnaps the stepsister. Then very quickly, he's back at the place where he was tied down with a shotgun. And in a matter of like 20 seconds, he kills the 4 people that assaulted him. And almost the same way. They get shot in almost the same spot on the side of their stomach. And it's a slow-mo where they go, oh, and they slow the audio as well as the visual. So you hear the voice go, like all 4, like shot the same way, fall back the same slow motion. I think it's all from left to right as well. Ooh, and I'm like, really? Like, this is a revenge movie, and that's like the big revenge, and you took a whole 20 seconds? I guess those 4 were thankfully there in the same place, in the same house. Guess they were having a party again, and there's no build-up to it. He's just there. Then they die, then the scene's over. And I'm like, in a proper movie, in a proper film, it'd be like a build-up. He finds the shotgun. He finds where they're at. He looks in. We see the 4, that all 4 of them are there. And maybe they talk about Bobby. Oh, man, that guy was a nice piece of, whatever dialogue they would have, and then he gets more and more angry, and he sneaks in and build up suspense, and shoots the guy, then maybe, reload, shoots this guy, like, have some choreography, have none of that. Just none of that. Then he saws them to pieces, which we see by silhouette. He gives the pieces to Simon, and Simon looks at him and goes, "What's that about?" To prove that the guy was wrong about me. The guy that I hanged. Then Simon looks at him and goes, so yeah, he doesn't care. Well, I mean, I guess he's a Satanist. Maybe he wouldn't care, to be fair. But I'm like, so these other men died. Well, I did. I guess he's a Satanist, so why would he give a shit? But I guess he's so impressed with this guy that, okay. So he saves the girl that stooped him in bed, digs her out. They have sex in bed again while the stepsister is crucified, killed by the rest of, and put her up. And the last scene is she's dead on the bitchy stepsister is dead on the crucifixion, while Bobby is having sex with a girl, and I'm sitting there going, I guess is a good ending, because the only people who die are bad people. Really, no innocent people died. The stepsister was an awful person. The dad, who I think is dead, is an awful person, unless he's knocked out. The 4 assaulted him. He killed them. Ran a quick 20 seconds. The people, Bobby didn't kill them. They died by, well, 2 died from touching the electrical fence. 1 fell in quicksand, and Bobby pushed the other in self-defense. And I mean, he got his revenge. This woman had sex with him, was nice to him, so he's having sex with her. I guess he joined a satanic cult, so it's not a happy ending, but at the same time, it seems like a happy ending. That's what I mean. It's like, is this a happy ending? It kind of seems like, other than he joined a satanic cult. Well, that's not right. There was one innocent person. I almost forgot about this, because this whole thing kind of didn't fit with the rest of the movie. That's why I almost forgot. The lesbian, there is a bit where Simon gives her like a lie detector test or something, but not really. Whereas, like, swear in your allegiance to Satan, and you have never had homosexual thoughts. You never had homosexual thoughts, and she answers, but she lies. Then she shakes, and blood comes out of her nose and stuff, so she dies. Because Satan don't like the gays. So I would say that's the innocent person that died. So. But it is this weird thing where it's not that well acted. Although I didn't mind the Simon guy. Bobby was there. For a guy that I've never heard of before, Stephen White. It does have that grindhouse. I mean, it was 1975, so you have that grindhouse, the scratches, the atmosphere, that type of, that field exploitation look to it. That in itself could be endearing. I mean, there's really not much in terms of violence. Like I said, he's cutting people up, but you only see that in a silhouette. When he hits his dad with the bottle, you don't see any blood. I guess when the 4 gets shot, you see a bit of a squib with each of the 4. Like I said, there's a scene where he gets assaulted, but it's not graphic. Again, because the way they do it in the car, it seemed like he was, sometimes felt like he was like, oh, punch him in the back or something. Or just pushing him. That's why I wasn't sure what the hell was going on. Just, like, you'll see his whole hand and do that, like, I mean, what the hell is he doing? So, is he trying to fist him? But he didn't, I don't know. And that's how I'm watching this, everyone. This is a weird movie. I mean, I'm kind of curious, what does this have, like, on, well, let me check 2 things. I should have done this before, so bear with me. But I'm kind of curious. It has a 4.4 on IMDb. Yeah, I mean, that's justified. I mean, I've seen much worse films, to be honest. I'm just curious, what's on this Blu-ray? I would never pick it up because I didn't. I won't say I liked the film, but yeah, AGFA something weird video. I think Vendor Syndrome released this, I believe. A commentary with a film historian. Speaks about taking pride in some of the bizarre films that were made in Florida, and then they go on to talk about the people that did the music for the film, the director's life and career, and how he wound up making a feature, the Florida locations used in the movie, how Tampa changed so much over the years, the Tampa dinner theater scene, how the film compares to other Florida exploitation films. See, I forgot this was in Florida. The use of oatmeal in the quicksand scene. Why it doesn't work as well as it could have. The rough cast and crew screening that took place at a porno theater. The cast and crew screening at a porn theater. Well, it's a theater, so I guess it works. A theater's a theater. A 28-minute cast and crew reunion featurette in 2014. The film's Cole Odysee worked with the director. The initial thoughts on the script and not seeing much of it before shooting the film. The film's spotty distribution. There's a bonus TV special in the form of The Weird World of Weird, transfer from the original Something Weird SVHS master. Goes over the occult, psychic phenomena, witchcraft, supernatural, astrology. I guess because of the title, so I mean, I guess they had to put something else on there. Well, there you go. So yeah, it does have a bit of sleaze. It does have a bit of exploitation flavor. If you're at all into that, sure, feel free. I mean, it's not going to have. There's some nudity. It doesn't have a whole lot of gore. There are some moments that did make me laugh. The more I think about it, yeah, the quicksand did look like oatmeal, so it was, I thought the quicksand looked funny. I didn't realize it was oatmeal, but yeah, it is. It was definitely a weird movie to watch once, but I would never watch it again. So take that for what you will. Thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.